Jon Jones, UFC fighter, domestic violence. He's just being arrested on misdemeanor domestic violence charge in Las Vegas. So he probably beat up his girlfriend. And that's what it means, domestic, when it's inside the home. And I mean, he was doing the media rounds as well, talking about how he was going to fight Francis Ngannou in the second quarter of 2022. And he was talking all this stuff about how he's going to come to fight a heavyweight and he's going to try and be at 275. But now he gets arrested for domestic battery, misdemeanor domestic charge. And that means that he's going to be in jail for 12 hours, guys. He's going to be on a 12-hour hold there, according to the police department over there. And I mean, his bail is set at $8,000 now. So he's going to have to pay 10%, which is $800. He'll be out on $800, but that's relatively nothing for a man with this type of money. He has millions of dollars. I mean, I think bail, I don't know, like I'm not the bondsman, so I don't know what bail should be, but I guess that's a learning curve. Jon Jones just being who he is. I mean, he's been arrested multiple times in the past for other offenses similar to this. He had a DUI, I believe, and then he ran into this pregnant woman, and he takes steroids. I mean, his character has shown time and time again that he really isn't a good man or a good person. He's just a good fighter. And, a lot of people notice that. Most people in the comment section would agree with me that this guy is not a good person. He's a piece of shit person. He takes steroids during UFC fights. He does everything wrong, but he always gets a lot of love and support because he's a good fighter. He's probably one of the greatest fighters of all time in MMA because of what he's done in the sport. The amount of times he's defended his title, the people he's beat. Shogun Rua, he knocked him out. He knocked out Glover Teixeira. He's knocked out Rampage Jackson. He's knocked out Lyoto Machida. He's knocked out this other guy. What's his name? Rashad Evans. He submitted him. Man, this guy's beat everybody, and the guy just can't stay on the right path. I mean, a right path, I guess that's kind of like I'm acting like I'm self-righteous and shit, but the path is just being focused and not getting into trouble with the law, like not doing illegal shit. If you're gonna do illegal shit, don't get caught. Right, Jones? I mean, he doesn't really get caught when he takes steroids and testosterone and stuff like that. He obviously takes, masking agents and stuff like that, but man, like, dude, you can't stay out of trouble for like 5 seconds. You are getting arrested for misdemeanor, battery, domestic violence. You're getting arrested for DUIs. You're getting arrested for multiple DUIs. There's actual body cam footage of him getting arrested for drinking too much alcohol, smoking weed in the car. Like, I think that it's kind of caught up to him a little bit. The fame is kind of caught up to him, and he feels like he's untouchable because he's this great UFC fighter and he's never been knocked out in a fight. He's the baddest man on the planet. Like, sometimes at that point, you feel like your shit don't stink. You feel like you're on top of the world and you are exempt from any type of consequences, and you're just this great fighter that everybody likes. Look, man, John, a lot of people don't like you, man. Like, lots of people don't like you. And I mean, race always matters. I mean, I guess if Jon Jones was not black, then he would not be getting... I mean, if he was white, I don't think he would be getting the same amount of, I don't think he would be getting the same amount of stick that he gets now. I think if he was white, he would probably be getting a lot more sympathy. He's going through so much. The poor kid, he's been fighting his whole life. They would try to paint it in a narrative where his environment was what caused him to be this guy, and he's really a good person deep down. And I mean, but then because he's black, you look at him in terms of reality. You don't make excuses for him because he doesn't look like you, and you don't feel like you need to uphold that image of that person that you feel looks like you. So then you feel like they're indirectly attacking you because they're attacking him because he looks like you. But John, he's brought this to himself, man. He has nobody else to blame but himself for every type of problem he's having right now. He's being arrested for things that he's done. If there's no smoke without fire. He has a history of getting in trouble with law enforcement and really just not following rules. You know, he's not a guy that likes to follow rules. I mean, I guess having that type of dominant fighter inside of the octagon, just knocking people out and just destroying them and shutting them down for rounds and rounds, just beating everybody with ease, you know, you start to feel self-righteous and you feel that you're above reproach because you're this great fighter and blah blah blah, you know, too much credit to yourself. Like, he's giving himself too much credit. You know, I feel like Jones is one of the greatest fighters of all time. His body of work speaks for itself, but the man just can't act right. He can't get right. He's lost so many sponsorships and deals because he's just doing all this craziness and getting arrested and doing this and doing that. Like, I mean, at some point we gotta tell this man to, like, Jones, slow down. Just slow down, bro. Like, stop getting arrested and all that type of shit, man. You supposed to be one of the greatest fighters of all time. Why don't you just stay in the gym? I know, obviously, he's not going to be fighting. He's not going to be training as much as he would be training for a training camp because he's outside of the fight. But I feel like, when is he ever going to fight in heavyweight? Because the man has been saying that he's going to fight at heavyweight for, like, the past year. The last time he fought Reyes was in 2020. He hasn't fought in over close to 2 years. Shit. That's a long time to not be fighting, bro. Like, you are a rich man. He has a lot of money saved up probably from all those fights, so he's not broke. He's not hurting for money. I mean, I guess he's not. But, like, damn, like, this dude can't act right. Just continuously getting arrested for some bullshit. Like, dude, you need to, like, maybe take a good hard look at yourself in the mirror and just try to improve your mindset. Maybe it's his attitude. Just, he doesn't feel like he has to respect authority. Maybe he has a hard time dealing with authority. He has that type of personality where he has a dominant personality. So he feels that he can just dominate any situation that he's in, but it doesn't always work like that. You know, if you're with law enforcement, you got to follow the rules and regulations that everybody else follows. You know, a gun will be a very big stopping factor, you know, for sure. Like, you're not that dominant with law enforcement, bro. Like, you got to listen to what the fuck they say. They the police, you got to listen to them. It's just how it is, you know. It's not that, and it ain't that serious. Like, it's not that hard to figure out. Jones knows that. He just I guess he has a hard time following rules. And these are the consequences. Now he's gonna be in jail for 12 hours, bail's $8,000, losing money. So yeah, I mean, he's not hurting for no $8,000, but you guys get what I mean. That's money that you could have used for something else. You just wasted $800. So